And thank you for our witnesses. We've got a distinguished group here today, including Eleanor Holmes Norton, my congresswoman when I'm here in D.C., and Senator Joe Lieberman, who is back to this committee, having served as its chair and ranking member, and really was the heart and soul of this committee when he was here. We're also going to hear from Mayor Bowser today. I appreciate her coming, and a good group of academics. As you know, Mr. Chairman, I have both practical and constitutional concerns about making Washington, D.C. its own state. Legally, Congress does not have the power to override the Constitution, and that's, to me, the most important issue here. D.C., of course, is the only place specifically created by the Constitution in Article I as the seat of government, meaning it's got a special constitutional status completely different from any current or previous U.S. territory that eventually became a state through the Article IV admissions clause. Our framers gave us a limited federal government, one in which Congress only wields the power explicitly granted to it. Here, neither the District Clause nor the Admission Clause provide Congress with the power to transform the seat of government into a new state. Moreover, D.C. has special constitutional status, of course, in the 23rd Amendment, which grants D.C. residents 3 electoral votes in presidential elections. We cannot just legislate over these constitutional provisions. Further, when Maryland authorized the cession of nearly 60 miles of its territory to the federal government for the creation of the District of Columbia in 1788, it did so for the purpose that, quote, Congress may fix upon and accept this land for the seat of government, end quote. When Congress formally accepted the land from Maryland by legislative act in 1790, we explained that the land was, quote, hereby accepted for the permanent seat of the government of the United States, end quote. Maryland gave up its land and we accepted it so that we could create an independent federal governmental district. Making D.C. into a separate state violates the solemn compact we made over 200 years ago with Maryland as well. And by the way, we'd be creating a state that by acreage comprises less than 6% of the next smallest state, Rhode Island. A better option, in my view, would be to retrocede a large portion of the district to Maryland. Retrocession is the preferable way to provide D.C. residents with voting representation in both chambers of Congress. This issue has come up before. The states declined to ratify the D.C. Voting Rights Amendment in the 1970s, which would have granted D.C. congressional representation in both houses of Congress and repealed the 23rd Amendment. Only 16 states ratified that amendment, 22 states short of the required 2/3 for adoption. Surveys today would demonstrate that the American people are still not interested in eliminating their capital district. Again, Mr. Chairman, I appreciate the witnesses coming today, and I look forward to hearing their testimony.